After losing to Alyssa Thomas and the Connecticut Sun 87-81 on Wednesday, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were eliminated from the WNBA playoffs, putting the league in serious peril. The Fever traveled to the postseason for the first time since 2016. The Fever secured the 6th seed in the WNBA standings by finishing the season strong under the leadership of Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell. You may also believe that it's not too bad for Caitlin's first year. Indeed, you are correct. However, the fact that the WNBA is already out of the playoffs is the worst thing that could have happened to them, and they're going far too far to correct this. Will the other players attract as many viewers as Clark does? No. Will the other teams draw in viewers? No, at the very least. Will they bring in whole stadiums? The answer, however, is no. Now that the fever has subsided, the W is in serious jeopardy. From now on, we'll all likely see a sharp decline in the number of viewers.
Couple of games this season, mainly when they were playing against Caitlin Clark. WNBA players, they have finally experienced what it feels like to play in front of people who are capable of breathing without the assistance of an air compressor. With the chase for the golden toilet beginning this past weekend, I know the community of identifiers. They want to continue this celebration into the fall. But Uncle KC is here to tell ya, the celebration is over. Reality is knocking on the door of the porta potty. The truth is finally coming to the light. The same light that is going to be dimming here in about 12 hours when Caitlin Clark is eliminated from the playoffs.
And now this has happened, the W is in trouble.
It's finally being proven without a shadow of a doubt. Caitlin Clark is a megastar. Caitlin Clark is a box office draw, while the rest of the WNBA, it is nothing but a polished turd. Well, it appears that Caitlin Clark fans have listened. Last night, I received the ratings for the first round of games for the chase for the golden toilet. As expected, Caitlin Clark, she was able to draw even though she was competing directly against the early games in the NFL. And as expected, the rest of the WNBA was completely ignored.
Who would have guessed that the WNBA would totally implode at this point? We all understood that Caitlin was the reason people were observing, and now that she's gone, the people have vanished. This goes even beyond, though, since the WNBA and its sponsors have realized this and are now attempting to contain the damage because they need rating and are unable to use a rookie girl as their poster child because she is out. She isn't exactly the poster girl the WS were looking for, according to behind-the-scenes information, and this is all being revealed in front of our eyes right now.
Everything that we've been talking about, like what's wrong with the WNBA, what's wrong with diversity, equity, and inclusion, what's wrong with this race agenda, what's wrong with this Black Queens agenda. And so he's written a story about Nike and why Nike has been reluctant to take advantage of Caitlin Clark. The WNBA's never had anything, nothing. Cheryl Miller couldn't really move the needle. Candace Parker couldn't really move the needle. Now they have this woman, and she's made the WNBA relevant. And I'm like, why isn't she being promoted? And how did Nike get her at such a reasonable, wasn't it a 22 or 32?
$28 million.
$28 million. Over 8 years. Like, that doesn't add up.
This is exactly where Jason Whitlock is. Why would Nike make such a large investment only to fail? And why wouldn't the WNBA put any money into its one asset? Everything revolves on the stereotype that the W wants to see.
In the early Clark era, Nike stock has tanked over the span, and the CEO just got ousted. By the way, though Clark got famous around 22, if you want to buy her shoe, you could be waiting until 2026 to 2027. It goes on to point out, like, Caitlin Clark's in her first NBA playoffs, first NBA season, and she's wearing Kobe Bryant shoes. They don't even have a shoe for her. And it may not be till 2026, 2027. LeBron James had his own signature shoe his rookie year. So 20 years ago, Nike was nimble enough and had enough vision to see that, hey, let's get LeBron's shoe out here. This guy's going to be a big deal. They can't do this for Caitlin Clark for some reason.
And that's not even the worst of it. The shocking part is that it explains why Nike is ignoring Caitlin Clark.
So he walks through, like, there was a Nike ad for Iowa Caitlin, though it wasn't exactly pushed on the public. There has been no Nike commercial for Clark as a pro. Let that sink in. No Caitlin Clark commercial. She's had 4 years of being the biggest star in all of sports, driving up these television ratings. No Nike commercial. That was me. Now back to Ethan Strauss. Now Clark's Fever are in the WNBA playoffs, and she's wearing Kobe sneakers instead of her own signature brand. In summary, Nike lucked into the marketing chance of a generation, and they're using that to advertise old product. Why is it happening this way? Now here's the money. Based on conversations with people in the know, it indeed has something to do with the WNBA MVP and Nike athlete A'ja Wilson. But beyond Wilson, it's about the culture of the company that's more concerned with quelling noise rather than making it as Nike once used to.
Crazy, huh? What is the effect of this? It's simple to see.
And the rest of the angry Yas Queen feminists saying, don't do that for that white girl until you make this 6'5" black woman more popular than the white girl. That when you look around and ask yourself, why is the WNBA marketing the playoffs leading with A'ja Wilson and not Kelsey Mitchell, not Caitlin Clark? Why? Why are they? No, you're white. You have to stand in line. We're committed to A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson not going to sell a shoe. Period. End of story. Are idiots. Idiots. They're not about business. They're not about growing the WNBA. They're about diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is insanity what they're doing to Caitlin Clark. It's bad business. It's short-sighted. When this woman exits the playoffs, probably tonight, the WNBA playoffs are over. You wonder why they sat and watched her get stabbed in the eye by Dejanay Carrington and did nothing? They want her out of the playoffs.
And that's precisely what took place. The league can finally move on from Caitlin Clark after she was eliminated. They and Nike want that, at the very least, don't they? What do you think about that? With Clark out, is the W done for this year? And when she returns the next year, will the fans pay attention? Please share your opinions with me in the comment section below. Let's return to Clark's game from last night. The Sun made it to the WNBA playoffs for the 6th consecutive season, despite the Fever's impressive comeback throughout the season. Despite being swept by the Sun this season, the Fever may not have had the outcome they had hoped for, but there are still many things to be happy with. This club was written off after they started the season with a 1-8 record. The Fever can, however, improve on the pairing of Boston and Clark. It's quite likely that the Fever will have consecutive Rookie of the Year winners because both Boston and Clark were selected to the WNBA All-Star team as rookies. The Fever will most likely return next season if they can continue to get better. Despite the loss, Caitlin Clark, a rookie sensation for the Fever, had an outstanding game, finishing with 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. She also came dangerously close to spearheading a fourth-quarter comeback to salvage Indiana's season. Since Magic Johnson in 1980, Clark is the first rookie in WNBA history to have a 25.5 rebound, 5 assist playoff game. He is also the first rookie to reach June 9th, 25 in an NBA or WNBA playoff game. Clark has contributed to one of the best rookie seasons in WNBA history, even though he has only participated in 2 tournament games. After a difficult shooting night in Game 1, Clark got off to a great start in Game 2, making her first 3-pointer. A.S. Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, who both played the whole 40 minutes, grew weary of Connecticut's toughness. She progressively cooled off. As the Fever tried to re-enter the game in the fourth quarter, Clark recovered despite the intense effort. With 4 minutes remaining, she gave Indiana a late lead with a 3-pointer, but Sun guard Marina Mabrey quickly responded with a 3 of her own, and the Sun withdrew. In the second half of Caitlin Clark's rookie campaign, the Fever found the right mix of players and style of play, igniting and moving up to the number 6 spot. After a sluggish start to the season, Indiana picked up the pace and started Lexi Hull, which helped them become one of the WNBA's best defenses. The Fever now have a crucial summer ahead of them as they must keep improving around Clark and Aaliyah Boston, their two main players. With the right players surrounding her, Clark might lead a team to a championship if she gets better in her second year. Re-signing guard Kelsey Mitchell, who excelled following this year's Olympic break and boosted the Fever offense later on, will be the team's first aim this summer. As the season went on, Mitchell and Clark developed a strong connection, and Christie teams started using them in tandem to create friction for defenders. Mitchell averaged 19.2 points per game during the season. The Fever may add an athletic wing to their roster through external acquisitions. Hull did a great job this season as a 3-and-D option, but the Fever may use a backup or someone who can take Hull's place in smaller lineups. This offseason, Myisha Hines-Allen of the Minnesota Lynx will become a free agency. The star also broke another milestone, becoming the first player in WNBA history to average at least 18 points, 5 rebounds, 8.5 assists, 2.0 steals, and 1.0 blocks per game over the course of a series. Despite the Fever's season-ending loss to the Sun, there are very few athletes who have achieved this feat in both the WNBA and the NBA, including Michael Jordan. Despite having a challenging Game 1, Clark has consistently shown that no amount of adversity can keep her down, like a 10-year veteran. The Fever guard has a goldfish memory because she never lets the past get in the way of the present and always gives it her all. In Game 2, Clark led the Fever with 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists on 10-23 shooting. Her 3 turnovers were below her season average, after shooting just 4-17 from the field during her 11.8 assist performance in Game 1. This was a strong comeback. She also won herself a beautiful piece of history by redeeming herself. Naturally, it's important to remember that WNBA first-round games are just best of 3. In Game 1, the Sun easily defeated the Fever, 93-69, while in Game 2, Connecticut overcame a far more formidable effort from Indiana, ending Caitlin Clark's season. It might be a little deceptive to compare Clark to Jordan given the difference in the number of games required to finish a playoff series, but it's undeniable that the Fever guard has a remarkable tendency to amass stats, and it won't be long until that translates into postseason success. It is impossible to overstate the cultural impact of Caitlin Clark. A record amount of WNBA viewers have been drawn to her. Her marketability is largely responsible for the WNBA's rise in popularity. However, she demonstrates exceptional expertise to support her marketability, turning the Fever from a consistent lottery team to a playoff contender in just one season. With the Fever struggling to start the 2024 season, Clark has experienced her fair share of growing pains. However, she has grown more at ease playing against the game's veterans and has shown that she not only belongs, but is there to stay at the top of the WNBA hierarchy. Just 22 years old, Clark has already set a number of WNBA records, including the assist record, which she is predicted to surpass going forward, particularly if she resolves her turnover problems, in order to help the squad become a real title challenger in the future. Clark needs also make the Fever a desirable location for free players. Will you be following the Fever again next season? Is it possible that they will finish in the top 4 in 2025 and even reach the playoff semifinals? Remember to subscribe for daily WNBA news and share your opinions in the comments section below.